week number 1, every match went to the 3 games. And we had plenty of time to tear everything down and set everything up. So what we're going to do is, if we go to a 3rd game this week, we're going to play to 15. So it'll be 3 games to 15. There'll be no difference. We can't go to 21 in the first 2 games. There's just not enough time for that. But we can go 3rd game to 15. So remember that if you play the first 2 games under 15, you have to win by 2. And if there is a tie, you split the first 2 games. The 3rd game will be also to 15. Last week we only played to 11. So you got 4 extra points you're going to have to play out. Again, you have to win by 2 on those. I just want to have a reminder for all of you that may not have remembered. One of the rules that we have here during play, this is just another ministry of our church. You have to attend at least 1 service throughout the week prior to Monday night to be able to play. We're going to have a grace period for this week for anybody who did not do it this past week. But going forward, so starting on Wednesday, you got Wednesday night, you got for teenagers, Friday night counts, and then you got Sunday, you got the 2 services on Sunday. So you got 4 opportunities. If you're a teenager, if you're an adult, sorry, you only got 3 opportunities. Hopefully you can find your way into one of the services. But if you can't make any one of those services, you're going to have to sit out that following week, that following Monday. And I'm going to try to keep an eye out, and hopefully you guys can, use your honor system. And if you're not here, just realize you're not going to be able to play. We'd like everybody to play. Now, if you have a valid reason, you're out with the flu, or you're out of town, or whatever, let somebody know. You're not just AWOL. There's a valid reason why you're not here. We'll work with you on that. We'll penalize somebody for a valid reason. We're going to go ahead and get started. I don't see my other line judge that's supposed to be here. I already know Emily is going to be late. If you can fill in until Duke gets here, that would be good. But we'll go ahead.
You've heard of Monday night football, but tonight we welcome you to Heritage Baptist Church's Monday Night Volleyball. We are going to get started here in just a second. Brother Ken Lacombe is giving some opening instructions to the players. They are praying, and we will get started here in just a minute. Thank you all for joining us tonight.
First game, we got purple versus black. We got 3 minutes. You want to?
So that we can practice on the side of the wheel?
You can.
That way we're
Where are you over here? So the way we're working this out here is it's based on the standings. So right now, I believe you guys are...
And once again, we welcome you to Heritage Baptist Church Volleyball, Monday Night Volleyball. We are just about to start ourselves off here. We have the creatively named purple and black teams about to face off tonight. Purple team is 0-1. This is the 2nd week of our volleyball intramural volleyball season. Last week, the purple team lost. The black team also lost. So we have 2 evenly faced teams starting us off tonight. Next game will be against the red team that is 0-1 against the green team that is 1-0, followed by the last game of our night. the gray team that is 1-0 against the blue team that is also 1-0. We will have 3 matches tonight. Each match consists of 3 games. Those games are played up till 15 points, unless except for the third game. The third game is only played up to 11 points. And again, that game is played if necessary, if no team has a majority after 2 games. You can hear the shot clock, the clock next to me. Sorry about that. We're going to be getting started in just a few minutes, so bear with us as we get set up. The purple team that we will be seeing first, it is captained by Matt Souza. He is a local pastor who is playing with us this season. The players for that team are Lito Cancino, Ezra Gatos, Melanie Seeley, Kara Simmons, and Justin Torres. Janelle Ron is normally on that team, but she is not here tonight due to illness. They will be playing, Pastor Souza's team will be playing against Jennifer Potter's team. That team consists of Jennifer, along with Julie Ball, Jada Cordero, Caleb Hester, Maggie Lacombe, George Stewart, and Jack Urbanowitz. And once again, both teams in our second week of play are 0-1.
Yeah, you'll start, but we're not done. You're starting first. Officer, when you're serving, just bump it up. That's what that is. If you call it, you commit to it.
All right, let's go.
And we are getting started here tonight. Jennifer Potter's black team will be on the side of the screen closest to you. They will be playing again against the purple team. Both teams, yet again, if you're just joining us, both teams are 0-1 after our first week of play. We have 6 weeks of play, and then we will have a postseason tournament. Again, we are on week 2. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Everybody ready? Okay.
Oh, so my head, I'm not going to get it.
And we're off here at Heritage Baptist Church. Jennifer Potter with the serve, sends it to the purple team. Purple team not able to return. That gives the black team the first point of the night. One serving 0. Jennifer Potter with the serve. Jennifer serves over to Pastor Souza. He hits it up to Kara. Kara sends it over to the net into a hole. And we are tied up at 1s in our first game of our first match. 1 serving 1. Lito Cancino serving for the purple team. Team farthest from you on the screen. Serves to George. George sends to Maggie. Maggie. Caleb Hester not able to work out the ball there and sends it into the net. Point for the purple team. Lito serves straight into the net, though. We're back to being tied up at 2s. Tied up at 2s here. 2 serving 2. Caleb Hester with the serve for the black team. Caleb serves to purple team. Purple team not able to return. Black with the lead for so far. 3 serving 2. 3 serving 2. Caleb Hester with the serve.
All right, everyone's got to get off the floor. Get off the floor.
We are waiting as a couple guests have joined us. floor wasn't clear. We have a serve into the ceiling. We have a dive, but in case you're worried at home, everything is okay. 4 serving 2 now. Caleb Hester with the serve. Caleb serves to Melanie. Melanie hits over to Lito. Lito to Kara, and Kara gives it to Ken Lacombe, our referee for the night. That makes it 5 serving 2. 5 serving 2, black lead. Caleb Hester sends it into the net. That's a point for the purple team. Point for the purple team. 3 serving 5 right now. 3 serving 5, and again, this is, if you're just joining us, this is the first game of the first match of the night. Kara Simmons with the serve for the purple team. Sends it over to Caleb. Caleb over the net to Melanie. Melanie over to Maggie. Purple team's hitting it back and forth. Jack Urbanowitz for the black team with the hit there. This is Jack's first year playing volleyball. Good volley. Both teams are sending it back and forth, back and forth. Jack up to George. George sends it over to Purple. Purple back to Jennifer. Jennifer to Jack. Jack to George. George sends it over to Justin. Justin to Maggie. Maggie hits it into the net, and that is a point for the purple team. 4 serving 5 now. 4 serving 5. It is a close score here. 4 serving 5. Serve to Jennifer. Jennifer hits it into the net. Point for the purple team again, and we are all tied up at 5s. All tied up at 5s here in our first game. Kara Simmons with the serve. Serves to Jennifer. Jennifer hits it to George. George sends it over the net to Kara. Kara hits it up. Justin hits it over to Pastor Souza. Pastor Souza sends it over to the net. Jack with the hit over to Melanie. Melanie taps it over the net into black territory for another point for the purple team. That is 6 serving 5. 6 serving 5. Kara with the serve again to Jennifer. Jennifer to George. George over the net to empty space. That's a point for the black team. 6 serving. We're tied up at 6s here. Maggie Lacombe with the serve for the black team. Again, team closest to you. Black team is captained by Jennifer Potter. Purple team captained by Pastor Matt Souza. And here we are in our volley. Ball hit into black, out of bounds near black territory. Black point. 7 serving 6. 7 serving 6. Maggie Lacombe with the serve. Maggie serves to Pastor Souza. He hits it up and over and into out of bounds. Another point for the black team. 8 serving 6. 8 serving 6. Maggie Lacombe still with the serve. Maggie serves to Lito. Lito hits it up to Caleb. Caleb taps it up to Jack. Jack over the net to Pastor Souza, who hits it over to Justin. Justin to Jennifer. Jennifer up to over the net to Melanie. Melanie back to Caleb. Caleb over the not quite. Not over the net. Into the net actually, and that is another point for the purple team. Purple point there. That makes it 7 serving 8. 7 serving 8. Justin, once they figure out what they're doing, Justin will be serving here. If you're wondering where Adam Ron is, he is home with sick kids. Natalie is not feeling well tonight, so you are stuck with just me for the evening. Justin Torres hits it over to Jennifer. Jennifer up into the net, and that is a point for the purple team. Jennifer not able to get it into enemy territory. Justin hits it up to George. George over to Lito. Lito with a move that I have never seen in all of my days spectating volleyball. Wonderful attempt, but no cigar. Point for the black team. 9 serving 8. Maggie Lacombe still with the serve. Maggie hits it to Lito. Lito sends it to Justin. Justin to Pastor Souza. Pastor Souza to Jennifer. Jennifer over to George. George over the net to Lito. Lito to Pastor Souza. Pastor Souza sends it to black team. Black sends it to purple. George Stewart sends it back into purple territory. George Stewart attempts to make the big play there. Not quite able to pull it off though. Point for the purple team. Another point for the purple team. That is, we are tied up at 9s right now. Close game. Close game. George sends it back to Justin. Justin and George with a bit of a back and forth there. George, though, able to send it George able to send it into empty purple territory. Point for the black team. And Jack Urbanowitz with the serve. Jack with the point. Jack with the point again. The rookie here. Showing us how it's done. Jack with the serve over to Kara. Kara back to Jack. Jack sends it to Kara. Kara sends it to Lita. Lita over to Jennifer. Jennifer hits it up to Jada. Jada hits it into the net. Point for the purple team. Point for the purple team. That brings us to 11 serving 10. 11 serving 10. Again, each of these games is played to 15 points. Pastor Souza sends it to black territory. Black sends it back to purple. Purple plays around with it a little bit, sends it to Jennifer. Jennifer hits it into the net. Again, another point for the purple team. And I believe I had the wrong score earlier. We are now tied up at 11s.
Wait for the whistle.
Point for the black team. 12 serving 11 now. 12 serving 11. 12 serving 11. George Stewart with the serve. Sent it to Justin. Justin up to Kara. Kara not able to make the return. That's a black point again. That is 13 serving 11. 13 serving 11. George with the serve. Serves to Melanie. Melanie hits it into the wall. That's another point for black. That's 14-11. This is game point. Game point. George Stewart with the serve. Sends to Kara. Kara over to Jennifer. Jennifer over the net to Justin. The purple bobbles it around, but able to make the return. Hits it up into their own net. Point for the black team, and that is the first game goes to the black team there. 15-11 for that game. 15-11. That is the end of the first game of our first match. Bear with us as they as the two teams get set up for the second match of the second game of the evening. Again, if you're just joining us, this is week 2 of our intramural volleyball at Heritage Baptist Church. Both teams that you are seeing right now, after 1 week of play, are at 0-1 for their record. Beginning of the second game. Kara sends to Jennifer. Jennifer hits it up to Caleb. Caleb taps it in the net. Point for the purple team. 1 serving 0. 1 serving 0. Justin with the serve sends it to sends it into black out of bounds. I'm sorry. Sends it out of bounds. That's a point for the black team. Tied up at 1s here. Jennifer Potter with the serve for the black team. Jennifer is the captain. Getting set up here for just a second. Jennifer with the serve. Sends it to Pastor Souza. He hits it up to Kara. Kara over and into the net. Another point for the black team. 2 serving 1. 2 serving 1. Jennifer Potter with the serve. Jennifer serves to Jennifer serves. They're rolling it in. They're rolling it in. That's a point for the black team. Ace for Jennifer there. 3 serving 1. 3 serving 1. Jennifer with the serve. Jennifer serves to. They're calling that. They're calling that in. That's another ace. 2 aces in a row for Jennifer. 4 serving 1. 4 serving 1. Black serve. Jennifer hits to Melanie. Melanie over the head of Lito. Knocks the ball into their own territory. That's another point for the black team. Black with a good run here. 5 serving 1. Jennifer with the serve. Sends to Lito. Lito over to Justin. Justin hits over the net to Maggie. Maggie over the net to Pastor Souza. Pastor Souza knocks it over into black territory. Finds a hole. Purple point. 2 serving 5 now. 2 serving 5. Kara Simmons with the serve here. Kara serves, makes it over the net into black territory. Maggie sends it over to Justin. Justin over the net to Caleb. Justin and Caleb are in a two-man game here. But Justin pulls off the point there. Point for the black team. Point for the black team.
For that, you get to sit on the bench.
Julie Ball with the serve here for Team Black right now. 6 serving 2. Julie hits it to Lito. Lito sends it into empty territory. They're ruling that in, so that is a point for purple team. 3 serving 6 now. 3 serving 6. Lito with the serve over to Julie. Julie hits it back toward the wall. Jennifer slides, but not quite able to make the save there. Point for purple team. Lito Cancino. Lito Cancino with the point. Lito with the serve, sends it to George. George over the net to Kara. Kara heads into the net. Pastor Souza able to save it. Over to George Stewart. George Stewart puts it in the net. That's a point for the purple team right there. 5 serving 6. 5 serving 6. Purple trying to come from behind on this volley. Lito Cancino hits it over to Maggie. Maggie over the net into empty purple territory. Point for the black team. That is 7 serving 5 now. 7 serving 5. Caleb Hester about to serve here for the black team. Caleb hits it into the net. That is means we're tied up right now, folks, with 7s for both teams. I'm sorry, we are not tied up. It is 6 serving 7. 6 serving 7. Melanie Seeley with the serve. Hits it out of bounds. Point for the black team is what they're rolling here. It's not how it looked from over here, but oh well. 8 serving 6. 8 serving 6. Maggie Lacombe with the serve. Sends it to Lito Cancino, who sends it over to Justin. Justin over the net to net Maggie. Maggie hits it up and over the net to Justin. Justin hits it back into his own net. Point for the black team. Again, this is the second game. It is 9 serving 6. Playing to 15. Second game. Black team with the lead, and the black team won the first game 15-11. They're also winning this game 9-6. And there's another. No, that is actually being ruled a point for the purple team. 7 serving 9. 7 serving 9. Purple needs to come back from this because if the black team makes 6 more points, they will be all done with this match. 8 serving 9. 8 serving 9. Pastor Souza, pastor of a local church nearby. He and a couple people from his church have been playing in our Heritage Baptist Church Volleyball League this winter. He is the captain of the purple team. We're at 10 serving 8. 11 serving 8 now. Black team with the lead. 11 serving 8. Again, this game is being played till 15. It is 11 serving 8 right now. Now it is 9 serving 11. Jack Urbanowitz hits it straight up into the rafters. If you're watching at home, you can't necessarily tell, but the rafters are quite low. Interferes with a lot of gameplay. Justin with the serve. Sends it over to black team. Black team over to, well, Julie on the black team. Not able to send it over the net. Point for the purple team. 10 serving 11. Purple with the comeback here. 10 serving 11. Justin sends it to Jennifer. Jennifer over the net to purple team. They're back and forth here. Caleb Hester hits it into the net, into the post, really. We're tied up at 11s right now. Tied up at 11s again. Game being played till 15. Jennifer with the return sends it to the purple. Black team now with the ball. Jennifer hits it over to Justin. Justin, very quick play there. Very quick play. The purple team with the point though. 12 serving 11. Justin Torres with the serve here. Justin hits it over to Jada. Jada hits to Maggie. Maggie knocks it up. Nobody there to return. Point for the purple team again. 13 serving 11. It's 13 serving 11. Again, if you're wondering why you're only hearing my voice tonight, Adam is not here this evening. Adam's home with a sick girl. So neither Adam nor Janelle will be here tonight. Janelle Ron would otherwise be playing for the purple team, but she is home. Here we are. It's match point. I'm sorry, game point. Game point for the purple team if they can pull it off. It's 12 serving 14. 12 serving 14. Purple sends it over to Jack. They're ruling that Lito is in the net. That's a point for the black team. That means it's 13 serving 14. 13 serving 14. game point. 13 serving point, 14 game point. George Stewart with the serve, sends it to Kara. Kara hits it up to Pastor Souza. Pastor Souza over the net. Black team sends it back into purple territory. Pastor Souza sends it to George. George to Jennifer. Jennifer hits it into the rafters. That's a point for the purple team. And we are tied up, 15-13. That gives the win on that game to the purple team. Again, we're playing each of the first 2 games. We are playing each of the first 2 games to 15 points. And then the third game, we play to 11. So this game that we're about to witness will be the third game of our first match. We're playing to 11.
You choose the side.
We'll serve.
We'll serve, you choose side.
This side.
This side, okay. Purple on this side, serving. All right, game is to 15. All right, remember this game is to 15. 15. Okay? All right, ready?
There was a rule change, apparently, that I was just informed of. That last week we were playing the third game to 11. We're just going to play all 3 games, first, second, and third, to 15 points. So this game will be up to 15. If you're just joining us, this is our first match of the night. Third game of the match. We play 3 games, best of 3. These 2 teams are tied up right now. And right now, black team, it's 1 serving 2. 1 serving 2. Purple serve. Purple serve. 1 serving 2. Kara Simmons with the serve sends it over to Jennifer. Jennifer hits it up to Jack. Jack sends it over to Maggie. Maggie sends it, makes it over into purple territory. Pastor Souza taps it back to black. Jada sends to Jennifer. Jennifer to Maggie. Maggie hits it into the rafters. That ends up being a point for the purple team. We're tied up at 2s right now. Tied up at 2s. Kara hits it over to Jennifer. Jennifer to Caleb. Caleb over to Maggie. Maggie sends it over to Leto. Leto hits it into the chairs. That's another point for the black team. That brings us to 3 serving 2. 3 serving 2. 3 serving 2. Julie Ball with the serve for the black team. Julie sends it to Pastor Souza, who sends it back into open black territory. That's a point for the purple team. Purple and black tied at 3 right now. We're tied up at 3. Justin with the serve for the purple team. Sends it to George. George over the net. Purple not, well, yeah, purple not quite able to return. That's 4 hits. 4 serving 3 now. 4 serving 3. Black team with the slight lead here. Again, this is the third game. This is the third game of our match. And we are at 4 serving 3. Caleb sends it over into purple territory. Purple not able to make the return. That's 5 serving 3. 5 serving 3 again. Third game as a change from last week. Change from last week is being played to 15 points. Caleb Hester serves to Leto. Leto sacrifices his face for his team, but not quite enough. Point for the black team. 6 serving 3. Caleb Hester serves directly into the net. Point for the purple team. 4 serving 6 now. 4 serving 6. Pastor Souza, captain of the purple team with the serve, sends it over to Jennifer. Jennifer hits it up to and over the net to Leto. Leto and the purple team bobble it. Send it back into the wall. Point for the black team. 7 serving 4. 7 serving 4. Maggie Lacombe with the serve. Maggie Lacombe ready to serve it off for the black team. 7 serving 4. Maggie barely makes it over the net. Purple team returns. George Stewart sends it over to Melanie. Melanie to Jennifer. Jennifer to George. George back over. So that's a double hit for the purple team. Double hit on the purple team.
So if it didn't hit the ceiling,
No, double hit by hand. No. Just hand. That's a 2 hit.
They are in the process of arguing over a call that does not make any difference one way or another. It is a black point. That's 8 serving 4. 8 serving 4. Again, playing the game to 15. Maggie Lacombe with a little bit of a streak here. Maggie serves it to Justin. Justin hits it over to George. George over the net to Kara. Kara hits it up to... They're saying out of bounds. That's another point for the black team then. Maggie Lacombe with the serve. Maggie serves. They're saying it hit the ceiling. That means the purple team automatically gets a point there. They needed it. They needed it. The black team was about to run away with this game. It's 5 serving 9 now. 5 serving 9. Purple serves it. Gets a point out of that, so it's 6 serving 9. 6 serving 9. Melanie with the serve. Melanie, more like a golf shot, sends it under the net. Point for the black team. It's 10 serving 6 now. 10 serving 6. Again, playing this game to 15. Games are, the match is tied up at 1 game to 1. This is the tiebreaker right here. 7 serving 10. 7 serving 10. Lito Cancino with the serve. Sends it right into the rafters. That's a point for the black team. 11 serving 7. 11 serving 7. George with the serve. Over to Justin. Justin hits a pass to Souza out of nowhere. He is running everywhere. He sends it over to Maggie, who sends it to Julie. Julie to Jennifer. Jennifer winds up in the net grabbing the ball. That's a point for the purple team. 8 serving 11. 8 serving 11. Kara Simmons with the serve here. Kara leads it off, sends it to Jennifer. Jennifer over the net to Melanie. Melanie to Justin. Justin hits it, but no one there to return it. That's a point for the black team. 12 serving 8. 12 serving 8. Again, third game being played till 15. 12 serving 8. That could have been a big point right there. We'll see how this turns out. Jada about to serve. For those in the Heritage Baptist Church family who don't know her, she is from Pastor Souza's church, joining us for this tournament. Jada hits it up, makes it over the net to Pastor Souza. Pastor Souza to George. George over to... George not able to get it over the net. That's a point for the purple team. 9 serving 12 there. 9 serving 12. 9 serving 12. Justin Torres with the serve. Justin serves to George. George to Caleb. But there, Caleb Hester grabs the ball, throws it over the net, and is called for the violation. That's a point for the purple team. Point for the purple team. 10 serving 12. Nope, now it's 11 serving 12. 11 serving 12. Again, game being played till 15. 11 serving 12. Justin with the serve. Sends it to George. George over to Caleb. Caleb over the net to Justin. Justin hits over to Pastor Souza. Pastor Souza to George. George hits it. Nobody there to return. That's a point for the purple team. We are tied up now at 12. Tied up at 12. Justin with the serve, sends it to George. George hits it to Caleb. Caleb over to Maggie. Maggie over the net to Pastor Souza. Pastor Souza to Maggie. Maggie over the net to Pastor Souza again. Over to George. George to the black team. Knocks it around amongst themselves, but not able to make the point out of that purple point. It is 13 serving 12. Purple being called with a violation. Black point. We're tied up at 13s now. Tied up at 13s. Jennifer Potter with the serve. Tied up at 13 in the end of our third game. Jennifer serves into the net. Big point for purple. 14 serving 13 now. 14 serving 13. Purple needed that. 14 serving 13. This is match point. This is match point for the purple. 14 serving 13. Pastor Souza hits to Jada. Jada over to Caleb. Caleb gets it over to the net to Pastor Souza. Pastor Souza to George. George over to Caleb. Caleb hits it over to Justin. Justin hits to Caleb. Caleb over to the wall. And that brings us, that was 15-13. Win for the purple team. Win for the purple team. That was our first match of the night. Win for the purple team. That puts their record now at 1-1, and that puts the black team's record at That puts the black team's record at 0-2. Next up, we have the red team and the green team. Again, creative names this year. Red team and the green team. Red team is 0-1. Green team is 1-0. Red team, captained by Greg Seeley. His teammates are Tom Clack, Angelina Kerr, Sierra Glaspie, Elizabeth Heller, Luis Santiago. Again, the red team is captained by Greg Seeley. His teammates are Tom Clack, Nina Kerr, Sierra Glaspie, Elizabeth Heller. Luis Santiago is not here tonight, and they're facing off against the green team, who is 1-0. Jess Santiago is the captain. Teammates are Ricky Sear, Sam Gatos, Daniel Lacombe, Johanna Souza, Anna Trelaw, and Paul Urbanowitz. We'll be getting started here in just a second with our second match for the evening. Again, bear with us as we get set up. It's going to be a few minutes. Both teams are right now, like I said, practicing. The buzz is circulating through the crowd that we are getting school cancellations in the area already. Possible snowstorm setting in tomorrow. Cancellations already happening. And I can tell you this, our Christian school students are ready and eager for a cancellation tomorrow. So is George Stewart here. And the teachers. I don't know if who wants it more, the students or the teachers, but one way or another, they're looking forward to a school cancellation hopefully tomorrow due to the oncoming bad weather. It's bad weather if you're from Connecticut, not necessarily if you're from the Midwest. Shout out to all my homeboys back in Michigan. Again, bear with us as our teams are getting set. We're in a bit of a break between bit of a break between matches here.
take the serve.
Green. So give me about 2 more minutes.
This one is so flat. It hurt.
And here we are about to get started with our second match. Again, it's the green team led by Jess Santiago. They are 1-0 against the red team led by Greg Seeley. They are 0-1. We'll be getting started here in just a second. Second match of the night, second out of 3.
When we have 6, I actually, as a middle person, prefer to stay here with their serve. Not even going to block it.
We have a minute? Are we playing or? We're gonna play.
And in just a moment, here we are. Now we're getting started. Second match, very beginning of the second match. Sam Gatos with the serve for the green team starts it off by giving a point to the red team, sends it right into the net. Point for red. Sierra Glaspie with the serve. Sierra serving for the red team. Sierra sends it over to Daniel. Daniel over to Sam. Sam over to Johanna. Johanna to Ricky. That's 4 hits right there. Point for the red team. 2 serving 0. 2 serving 0. Sierra with the serve. Sends to Ezra. I'm sorry, Sam. Sam over to Johanna. Johanna over to the wall. Point for the red team again. 3 serving 0. 3 serving 0. Sierra Glaspie with the serve. Sierra hits it over to Sam. Sam over the net to Elizabeth. Elizabeth over the net to Jess. Jess hits it directly up into the rafters, shook the building, and gave a point to the red team. In the process, it is now 4 serving 0. 4 serving 0. Sierra Glaspie with the serve. Sierra serves to Daniel. Daniel hits it over to Jess. Jess over the net to Elizabeth. Elizabeth over to Johanna. Johanna to Ricky. Ricky hits it into the net. Point for the red team. Point for the red team. 5 serving 0 now. 5 serving 0. 4 of those 5 points were directly from Sierra. Sierra ruins her streak, though, as she sends it into the rafters on the serve. Point for the green team. That's 1 serving 5. 1 serving 5. Anna Trelaw with the serve for the green team. Anna serves over to Greg. Greg hits it to Elizabeth. Elizabeth over the net to Johanna. Johanna over to Tom. Tom dives. You could hear that from a mile away, but not enough to get him a point. That's a point for the green team. 2 serving 5. Anna Trelaw with the serve. Sent it to Sierra. Sierra hits it up to Greg. Greg hits it into the wall. Point for the green team again. 3 serving 5. 3 serving 5. Anna Trelaw again with the serve. 3 serving 5. First game of our second match. Anna serves over to Greg. Greg hits it over to Ricky. Ricky over the net to the red team, and they knock it back and forth. Here we are volleying back and forth. Ricky hits it over to Sierra. Sierra over to Greg. Greg over to Ricky. Ricky back to Sierra. Sierra hits it over to Jess. Jess almost finds a hold. Nina able to save it, though. Nina sends it back into green territory. Green hits it into the net. That's a point for the red team. 6 serving 3 now. 6 serving 3. Tom Clack with the serve. This is Tom's first year in a, not ever, it's the first year in a while. Tom serves it into the net. That's a point for the green team again. 4 serving 6 now. 4 serving 6. Jess with the serve. Team captain serving it up here. Sends it to Sierra. Sierra with a great save. Sends it to green team. Green sends it to red. Ricky over, Greg over the net. Greg back to Tom. Tom hits it into the net. That's a point for the green team again. 5 serving 6. 5 serving 6. Jess Santiago Serving it up for the green team again. Again, that's 5 serving 6 is the score. Jess hits it to Sierra. Sierra up to Ricky. Ricky over the net to Sierra. Ricky hits it back to Sierra. Sierra over Ricky's head to Anna. Anna over to Tom. Tom over to Ricky. Ricky sends it to Greg. Greg drops it down in their own territory. That's a point for the green team again. We're tied up at 6s right now. Jess Santiago with the serve. Hits it over to Greg. Greg hits it over to our line judge. That's another point for the green team. 7 serving 6. 7 serving 6. Jess Santiago again with the serve. Jess with the serve. Back to the register. Significantly too far. Point for the red team. Tied up at 7s here. Greg Seeley with the serve for the red team. He is also the captain of the red team. Greg with the serve, sends it to Anna. Anna hits it over to Jess. Jess sends it over to Sierra. Sierra hits it up to Nina. Nina sends it over the net to Jess. Jess over the net to Greg. Greg hits it up to Ricky. Ricky over to Nina. Nina over to Ricky again. Back to Greg. Greg sends it to Sierra. Sierra over the net to Ricky. Ricky over and into red territory. That's another point for the green team. 8 serving 7 for green. 8 serving 7. Johanna Souza with the serve here. Johanna serves, not able to make it over the net. That's a point for red. We're tied up at 8 right now. 8 serving 8. Elizabeth Heller with the serve. Elizabeth hits it over to Jess. Jess hits it up and over to Ricky. Ricky with the ballet move, sends it into the ceiling, and that's a point for red. 9 serving 8 right now. 9 serving 8. Elizabeth Heller with the serve. Elizabeth Heller with the serve. Sends it to Johanna. Johanna sends it laterally over to empty space. It is now 10-8. 10-8. Nine serving 10. 9 serving 10. Ricky with the serve, sends it directly into the rafters, and point for the red team. 11 serving 9 now. 11 serving 9. Nina with the serve. Nina sends it into the window. That's a point for the green team. 10 serving 11. 10 serving 11. Daniel Lacombe, first year playing volleyball. Daniel Lacombe with the serve. He sends it into the rafters again. And that's 12 serving 10. Red with the slight lead. Sierra Glaspie with the serve again. Sierra hits it over to Ricky. Ricky sends it to Tom. Tom over the net to Johanna. Johanna knocks it into their own territory. Red point. 13 serving 10. 13 serving 10. Sierra Glaspie with the serve yet again. Sierra hits it. Be over Daniel's head into green territory. That's a point for the red team. Game point here, 14 serving 10. 14 serving 10. Sierra again with the serve. Sends it over to Ricky. Ricky's over to Elizabeth. Elizabeth sends it back to Ricky. They send it around the green team. Green trying to make the save there. Green not able to pull it off. It is 15. That's the first game. Red team wins the first game here. 15-10. Red win.
Do they keep the serve? I'm sorry, who served first? We served first. So they serve on me.
Getting reset here. We're about to enter our second game of our second match. We're about halfway done. Red team won the first game, 15-10. Red also leads off with the serve here. Sierra Glaspie was serving for red. Sierra hits it over to Sam. Sam's over to Greg. Greg sends it into empty green territory. That's a point for red. 1-0. Sierra Glassby with the serve again. Sierra hits it over to Sam. Sam over the, not over the net, Sam into the net. Anna Trelaw not able to make the return. Point for red. That's 2-0 now. 2-0. Sierra Glassby with the serve. Sierra serves to Sam. Sam hits it up over the net to Greg. Greg over to Elizabeth. Elizabeth back to Greg. Greg over the net to Sam. Sam hits it to Greg. Greg sends it into green territory. Green dives, not able to make the save. Point for red. 3-0 now. 3-0. Sierra Glassby with the serve. Sierra hits it over to Ricky. Ricky sends it into their own net. 4-0. Sierra on a roll. 4-0. Sierra hits it over to Sam. Sam over to Jess. Jess sends it over to Greg. Greg hits it to Elizabeth. Elizabeth sends it to Greg. Greg over the net to Sam. Sam over to Jess. Jess over to Nina. Nina hits it over the net to Anna. Anna sends it to Elizabeth. Elizabeth back to Anna. Anna sends it over to Greg. Greg hits it into empty green territory. Point for red. Point for red. That is 6 straight points from Sierra. Sorry, 5 straight points from Sierra. Sierra hits the ball to Ricky. Ricky over to Greg. Greg over to Johanna. Johanna over to Sam. Sam over. That's 4 hits, folks. That's 4 hits. That's 6 points for the red team. 6 points for the red team. Sierra Glassby with the serve again. Sierra serves to Ricky. Ricky hits it over to Sierra. Sierra sends it out of bounds, ending her streak there. It's 1-6 now. 1-6. Sam Gatos serving it up for the green team here. Sam serves into the net. Point for red. 7-1 now. 7-1. Tom Clack with the serve. Tom Clack is noted for his impressive form and proficiency in the game, as noticed by the serve. Sends it to green. Tom scores point for a red. It is 8-1 now. 8-1. And Tom Clack shows off that skill he is known and loved for. Hits it directly into the net. That's a point for the green team again. 2-8 now. 2-8. Anna sends it over to Sierra. Sierra returns to Greg. Greg sends it over the net to Ricky. Ricky over to Sierra. Sierra hits it up to Greg. Greg over the net to Ricky. Ricky over to Jess. Jess over to Nina. Nina hits it back into green territory. Green sends it not really anywhere. Sends it under the net. Point for the red team. It's 9-2. 9-2. Greg Seeley with the serve here. Greg hits it to Daniel. Daniel makes contact. Would have gone out of bounds otherwise, but with the contact from the green team, that's a red point. It's 10-2. Greg hits it over and into empty green space. That's another red point. 11-2. 11-2. Red is the underdog tonight. They were 0-1 going into this. Green was 1-0, but red showing an impressive game tonight. It's 3-11. Again, these games are played to 15. It's 3-11. Red sends it over to Daniel Lacombe. Daniel sends it to Anna. Anna hits it into the net. That's a point for red. 12-3. 12-3. Elizabeth Heller serving it up for the red team. Elizabeth hits it over to Ricky. Ricky sends it directly into the ceiling. That's a point for red. 13-3 now. 13-3. Elizabeth Heller with the serve for the red team. Elizabeth hits it to Jess. Jess over the net to Greg. Greg up to Sierra. Sierra up and over into green territory. Jess sends it back to Elizabeth. Elizabeth over to Sierra. Sierra hits it over to Nina. Nina going for the big play, but sends it out of bounds. That's a point for green. It's 4-13 now. 4-13. 4-13. Johanna Souza with the serve for the green team. Johanna serves it to Greg. Greg over to Ricky. Ricky sends it back into red territory. Red over to Jess. We're back and forth here. Sam sends it to red. Tom not able to make it over the net. That's a point for green again. 5 serving 13. 5 serving 13. 5 serving 13. That's another point for green. 6 serving 13 now. 6 serving 13. Green needing a big comeback here. Each game is played up to 15. That was not the comeback they were looking for. They just gave a point over to the red team. It's 14-6. This is match point. Nina hits it to Anna. Anna. Greg almost able to get that. Yeah, Greg did. Match point. That is the game right there. That is the match, really. Match point. We are all done with that. 15-6. Decisive win from the green team. Decisive win. They were, I'm sorry, from the red team. They were the underdogs going into this. They performed well. They won that 15-6. Swept both of the games. No need for a third game in this match. We're entering our last match of the night. The gray team and the blue team, which are both 1-0, they will be facing off against each other. The gray team handicapped tonight. Carla Bish, homesick. Tammy Gatos, also homesick. And Catherine Orsini has also been sick lately. So the gray team is actually 3 players down. They will be taking the field with just Ken Lacombe, Alyssa Glaspie, Caleb Simmons, and Rob Trelaw. They will only have 4 players tonight. They will be facing the blue team, captained by Tim Bish. The blue team consists of Tim Bish, the captain, Duke Andrade, Emily Ball, Dave Clack, John Gatos, Teresa Lacombe, and Susie Simmons. Bear with us as our 2 teams get set. If you're just joining us, you picked a good time. This is, we're about at the beginning of our 3rd match. The blue team and the gray team are facing off. This could be a fascinating match. Both teams are well matched. They're both 1-0 right now. Gray team down 3 players though. Gray team's down 3 players.
Greg and Elizabeth.
Warming up right now, and then we'll get started.
My front line judge or back line? Front? Is that front?
Yeah.
Elizabeth.
You guys only have 4? Yep. Yeah. Woohoo! Well, Greg had 5 and we had 6 and they won, so. You gotta watch holes tonight. What? Duke. I know. Holes.
Light off of that.
They're home, so I get to call the first game. They're home. I know. That's she was supposed to. Tails. Tails will serve. You pick side.
We'll keep the second.
All right. We're serving first over here.
And without further ado, we are about to begin the third match and final match of the night. Gray team leading off with the serve. Understaffed here tonight. They are playing with only 4 players.
Gray is home. You're home. Oh, blue is home. Okay.
If you don't play it away from them, play it right down their throat. Come on, blue. Be ready.
And here we go. Ken Lacombe with the serve. Over to Dave Clack. Dave sends it right into the ground. Gray will take anything they can get as far down as they are on players. Ken Lacombe sends it over to Emily. Emily hits it up to Caleb. Caleb over to Dave. Dave sends it to Duke. Duke over to Caleb. Caleb hits to Rob. Rob sends it over to John. John over to Duke. Duke over to Ken. Ken finds a hole. That's a point for Gray. That's a point for Gray. 2 serving 0. 2 serving 0. Ken Lacombe with the serve here. Again, their team is down to 4 players. Ken serves it to Dave. Dave sends it over the net. Here we are back and forth. Dave sends it to Duke. Duke over to Teresa. Teresa not able to save it. Ball goes back to Ken. 3 serving 0 now. 3 serving 0. Three serving 0. Ken Lacombe with the serve. Ken sends it to John. John over to Rob. Rob with the spike. Emily not able to return that. That's another point for the gray team. That's another point for the gray team. It's 4 serving 0 here. 4 serving 0. 4 serving 0. Ken Lacombe hits it just over the net. Duke, with his back to the net, not able to see Ken serve. Ball bumps right into Duke's back. 5 serving 0. Ken Lacombe with the serve. Sends it to Emily. Ken on a roll here. That is 6-0 right now. Underhanded, underdog team is winning. 6 serving 0. First game. Ken with the serve. Sends it into the net. That's a point for the blue team. Blue team's first point of the night. John Gatos with the serve. Last week, he wowed the audiences with several great serves. We'll see if he can keep it up tonight. Ball in blue territory. Susie sends it to Rob. Rob hits it down in for a point for the gray team. Caleb Simmons, I should say. Caleb Simmons with the serve for the gray team. Caleb serves to Emily. Emily hits it directly into the ceiling. That's another great point. 8 serving 1. 8 points from the team that's down several people. Caleb hits it over to Dave. Dave over to Duke. Duke sends it over to Ken. Ken over to Alyssa. Alyssa hits it into the ceiling. That's a point for the blue team. 2 serving 8. 2 serving 8. Susie Simmons with the serve. Susie Simmons with the serve. Beginning of a new tongue twister. Susie Simmons with the serve. Susie serves to Ken. Ken not able to return. Another point for blue team. 3 serving 8 now. 3 serving 8. Susie with the serve. Susie sends it over to Rob. Rob hits it over to John. John over to Teresa. Teresa over the net, into the chairs. Another Gray point.
Okay, come on, Gray.
That is 9 serving 3. 9 serving 3. Rob Trelaw with the serve for the Gray team. Rob sends it directly to John. John over to Teresa. Teresa hits it up over the net. Point for the blue team. Blue team still surprisingly, significantly down for this first game. It's 4 serving 9. Good serve by Duke though. It's 5 serving 9 now. 5 serving 9 from the blue. Duke serves directly into the net. That is a great point. That could have been huge right there. 10 serving 5. 10 serving 5. Gray needed that point. Alyssa Glaspie with the serve. Alyssa hits it over to Dave. Dave sends it to Caleb. Caleb over to Dave. Dave over to Alyssa. Alyssa hits it up to Ken. Ken over to Caleb. Caleb sends it over to Emily. Emily over to Duke. Duke hits it to Rob. Rob sends it over the net to Dave. Dave Clack. Great placement from Dave Clack. That's a point for the blue team. 6 serving 10 now. 6 serving 10. This is shaping up. It could wind up being the game of the night. Again, both teams 1-0 after last week. Teresa with the serve to Rob. Rob over to Caleb. Caleb. That's one of those plays that can either go very well or very poorly. That one wound up going very poorly. Directly over, out of bounds. Teresa Lacombe with the serve. Sends to Rob. Rob over into the chairs. That's another blue point for us. 8 serving 10. 8 serving 10. Blue making a bit of a comeback. Teresa hits it over to Ken. Ken over the net to Dave. Dave sends it to Caleb. Caleb saves it. Sends it to Dave. Dave hits it directly into the net. That's a point for the Gray team. That's 11 serving 8 right now. 11 serving 8. Ken Lacombe with the serve for the Gray. Ken starting them off. See if he can finish the job. Ball drops into blue territory. That's a point for the Gray team. Actually, my mistake. They're calling that a point for the blue team. They're saying it went under the net. So it is 9 serving 11. 9 serving 11. Well, now it's 12 serving 9 with the serve that it also went under the net. 12 serving 9 now. 12 serving 9. The underdogs are still ahead. Caleb hits it over the net to Dave. Dave hits it to Duke. Duke over to Ken. Ken hits it up to Rob. Rob sends it to Dave. Dave sends it over to John. John hits it to Caleb. John? They're saying it went dropped in bounds. That's a point for the blue team. 10 serving 12 now. 10 serving 12. This is the game to watch. Emily Ball with the serve for the blue team. Emily Ball with the serve. Emily hits it over to Ken. Ken over to Rob. Rob hits it over to Dave. Dave sends it into the net. Duke able to save it. Sends it over to Rob. Rob hits it down into blue territory. That's a point for the Gray team. Gray needed that. It's 13-10 now. 13 serving 10. Rob Trelaw with the serve. Sends it over to Dave. Dave hits it directly into the ceiling. Drops back down into blue territory. That's another point for the Gray team. It is 14-10. This is game point. This is game point for the Gray team, folks, even though they were down to start with, down several players. Rob serves to Duke. Duke hits it up to Alyssa. Alyssa over to Rob. Rob sends it directly into the net. That's a point for the blue team. Still game point, though. Still game point. 11 serving 14. John Gatos with the serve. If you're the blue team, this is who you want serving for you. I stand corrected. That's a point for the Gray team. First game goes to Gray. 15-11 first game. 15-11 for the Gray team. Gray with the win of the first game. Now we go to the second.
Same starting order.
Tammy is out sick for the gray team. Carla is out sick for the gray team. Otherwise, we would have a two-spouse matchup between the Gatoses and the Bishes. We would have two spouses, two sets of spouses, I should say, playing off against each other, but we avoided that tonight. Better luck next time. Blue serve here. 1 serving 0, now 2 serving 0. Blue with the point that that they needed. 2 serving 0. John Gatos with the serve. John serves to Caleb. Caleb over to the net to Emily. Emily hits it back to John. John hits it over to Ken. Ken over to Rob. Rob taps it over into Susie. Susie sends it over the net to Rob. Rob back to Emily. Emily over to Duke. Duke knocks it into great territory. Point for the blue team. John Gatos starting the blue team off on a roll. 3 serving 0 now. 3 serving 0. John hits it over to Caleb. Caleb over to Duke. Duke taps it into great territory. Point for blue. 4 serving 0. 4 serving 0. John Gatos serves to Ken. Ken sends it to Caleb. Caleb directly into the arms of Duke. Great play by Duke. But they're actually, I'm sorry. They are ruling that a point for the gray. They're ruling that a point for the gray. It's 1. It was 1 serving 4. Now it's 5 serving 1. Blue with the point off. A serve that had a little bit too much on it. Tim Bish with the serve. Tim sends it over to Ken. Ken to Rob. Rob dives, knocks the ball a couple inches off the ground. Alyssa attempts to save it. There wasn't much you could do with that. That's a point for the blue. 6 serving 1. Tim serves to Rob. Rob sends it back to Duke. Duke over the net to Alyssa and then Rob. They send it over the net to Blue. Blue back to Ken. Ken sends it over to Rob. Rob hits it over the net. This is very quick play, folks. Great team with the point, though. Great team with the point. It is 6. It is 2 serving 6 right now. 2 serving 6. Caleb with the serve, sends it over to John. John hits it over to Dave. Dave sends it to Rob. Rob hits it over to Tim. Tim hits it over to Alyssa. Alyssa over the net to John. John over to Dave. Dave over to empty space. Dave sends it out of bounds. That's another point for the gray team. They needed that. It's 3 serving 6. 3 serving 6. Again, gray team down to just 4 players because of illness. Caleb hits it over to Duke. Duke sends it to Teresa. Teresa over to Rob. They're ruling that Rob was in the net. It's a point for the blue. I'm sorry, they're ruling that Teresa was in the net. That's a point for gray. 4 serving 6 now. Caleb sends it over to Dave. Dave hits it to Alyssa. Alyssa over to Rob. Rob over to Dave. Dave hits it back to Ken. Ken over to... Miscommunication there between Rob and Caleb. That's a point for the blue team. 7 serving 4 now. 7 serving 4. Susie Simmons with the serve here. 7 serving 4. Susie serves into the net. Now it's 5 serving 7. 5 serving 7. 5 serving 7. Rob Trelaw with the serve for the gray team. Rob hits it over into the net. Rob hits it into the net. That's a point for blue. 8 serving 5 now. Gray able to make up for a couple lost points there, though.
Nice.
Susie hits it over to Emily. Emily over to Rob. Rob hits it up to Alyssa. Alyssa over to Ken. Ken hits it directly into empty space. Point for the gray team. Six serving 8 now. 6 serving 8. Big point for the gray team. Alyssa serves to Emily. Emily over to Duke. Duke hits it over to Rob. Rob to Ken. Ken into the net, but still able to save that. We're still going. Point for the gray team. 4 hits there. Point for the gray team. Great volley. Alyssa with the serve again. 7 serving 8. Alyssa serves it over to Tim. Tim sends it over to Caleb. Caleb back to Tim. Tim sends it to John. John flips it over his head into great territory. Ken Lacombe with the diving face plant, but not enough to save the point. It is 9 serving 7. 9 serving 7. Teresa with the serve. Sends to Alyssa. Alyssa over to Ken. Ken up to Caleb. Caleb over the net to Tim. Tim back into Gray territory. Gray hits it into the net. That's a point for the blue team. 10 serving 7. 10 serving 7. Again, games are played to 15. 10 serving 7. Teresa Lacombe with the serve. Sends it over to Rob. Rob crosses it over to Ken. Ken to Alyssa. Alyssa hits it into the ceiling. Wouldn't have mattered. It would have been 4 hits had anybody tried to return that. It's 11 serving 7 right now. 11 serving 7. Teresa Lacombe with the serve. Sends it to Rob. Rob hits it over to Caleb. Caleb sends it over the net to the blue team. Tim hits it over to Alyssa. Alyssa to Rob. Rob single-handedly sends it way back into blue territory. Duke, though, drops it right down into gray territory. That's a point for the blue team. 12 serving 7 now. 12 serving 7. And we have a shoe-tying break. And now the second shoe must also be tied. Our players' safety is paramount, first and foremost, at Heritage Baptist Church. Close call. Carry on. John Gato sends it over to Rob. Rob sends it to Caleb. Caleb knocks it into gray blue territory. That's a point for the gray team. Point for the gray team. It is 8 serving 12 now. 8 serving 12. Ken Lacombe with the serve for the gray team here. Needs a big comeback. 8 serving 12. Ken puts a lot on it. Sends it right over to Teresa. Teresa hits it out of bounds. It's a point for the gray team. They needed that. 9 serving 12. 9 serving 12. 9 serving 12. Again, we're in the second game. Gray won the first game. Blue returns to Gray. Blue hits it over the net to Alyssa. Alyssa over to Rob. Rob hits it over the net to Emily. Emily to John. John sends it back to Emily. Emily hits into the net. That's a point for the gray team. 10 serving 12 now. 10 serving 12. Ken Lacombe with the serve. 10 serving 12. Ken serves to Emily. Emily hits it over to Rob. Rob sends it over the net to Tim. Tim over to Ken. Ken to Rob. Rob nails it right down into blue territory. That's a point for Gray. It's 11 serving 12 now. 11 serving 12. Gray trying to come back, pull off the improbable comeback. The improbable win. Ken sends it over to Duke. Duke over to Alyssa. Alyssa to Rob. Rob over the net to Duke. Duke and John able to send it to gray territory. Rob sends it back. Emily hits it up into the wall. That's another point for Gray. We are tied up now, right at 12. Tied up at 12. Blue started with a convincing opening set of points. Ken with the serve. Ken sends it to Tim. Tim hits it directly into the ceiling. That's 13-12. 13 serving 12. Each game played up to 15 points. Each game played up to 15 points. It's 13-12 right now. Ken over to John. John hits it over to Rob. Rob sends it over to the net. The blue returns into gray territory. Point for the blue team. Big point right there. It is tied up at 13s, apparently. Tied up at 13s. Dave Clack with the serve. Dave. Dave with the serve violation. Match point. Match point. Great team, possibly about to pull off a major comeback. 14-13. Match point. End of the second game. Caleb hits it over to John, to Duke. Duke sends it to John. John in the net. Great point with the win, and that is that, folks. That is that. Great team. Despite being down 3 players, the great team pulls it off. Great victory. Great team now at 2-0. Blue team now 1-1. Thank you for joining us this evening. We'll see you back next week.